Got to hunch up on this mic.
Hey everybody, this is Petey from the Spinner Rack, and we also have
Calvin Ellis, ready to rock.
Today we have Karate Kid Legends. Yeah, let's watch this trailer and see what it's about. Spinner Rack, ready to go.
You want to talk about it?
My mom wants us to leave everything behind.
Sometimes it is the only way to move forward.
You come to America. New rules. New school. No fighting. You make any friends?
Yeah, I did. One.
What's his name?
Mia?
You study karate or something?
Kung Fu. Used to. I don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah, you're clearly over it.
Who's your friend?
Connor, don't start.
You really want to do this?
You can't step to guys like him. He wins the 5 boroughs every year. It's the biggest tournament in the city.
In life, you have only one question. Is it worth fighting for it or not?
So we're just supposed to let him fight. So that we can end up like his brother.
So that he does not end up like his brother. Lee means to me what you meant to Sensei Miyagi. I want Lee to learn Miyagi karate.
I'm sorry, Mr. Han. I wish I could help you.
You will.
I'm not coming to New York.
I will see you in the Big Apple. Sensei LaRusso.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
You have a foundation of Kung Fu.
We're going to build upon that with karate.
Ancient way.
Miyagi way. There's 2 of them. Focus! This represents the history between the 2 families. 2 branches, 1 tree. This is why I came to train you. Remember what you're fighting for.
When you understand that, you'll be ready.
I was born in the struggle, born to survive.
So, what do you say, sir?
If somebody had told me they were going to do a movie like this years ago, I would have probably, died laughing and said no. But after the success of the series on Netflix, and you also had the success of the Karate Kid remake with Jaden Smith, who is notably absent from this particular film, I'm in really much a holding pattern. There's some things I'm looking at. I'm not sure how you reconcile them, but you got Ming-Na Wen, who I like her acting. Always very good in the stuff that I've seen her with. You got Jackie Chan on board. Part of my brain is like still trying to reconcile how all these people are here. Daniel LaRusso is here, and I'm still trying to sort that out. And then the whole idea of the 2 branches, 1 tree. But this is a film that's going to be piggybacking off a very successful TV series off of Netflix that's had plenty of visual recognition. You definitely have the international pull of Jackie Chan. As much as my voice is betraying it, I'm going to end up seeing this movie.
Wait a second, that's what I'm saying. You sent this to us. What was the thing? Just the being a fan of the Karate Kid movies and Cobra Kai? This is why you're interested in this?
You have too many things going on in here to pull a guy like me. I'm a martial arts practitioner and aficionado.
That's all.
You've got Jackie Chan in the movie. You've got Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid, which is one of my favorite movies. And I'm a fan of the franchise. I enjoyed the first 4 seasons of the TV series. I also enjoyed the remake with Jaden Smith. So now you're doing this. I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta go. I'll be there, even though I might have one or two reservations looking at the trailer. But like I said, if this was something that they had proposed, if this was something they had proposed before there was a Karate Kid remake, I probably would have been sniggering, in my chair, like, yeah, you're not getting me out for this. But they've had a lot of success with this franchise. So I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do here.
Well, this is an interesting thing because, I mean, it looks like it hits the notes that of the other ones. A kid coming to another town. The mom wanted him to start over. They also had a little more karate. Brother died, type of thing. So coming back like I'm revenging my brother's death, making better. Sorry, that's a Coogee rap moment. Anyway, so it has all of the notes from this thing. Then I guess I want to stray because it looks like, that's the thing. The one with Jaden Smith, even though I didn't see it from the trailer, you could see what they were doing was, they say in books like writ large. They were taking everything, whereas you have like going from alien to alien. So it's like, all right, the tone of the first movie and movies was to play to that Daniel, can protect himself. That's what Miyagi-Do was about, protecting himself on the street. So you get some scenes of him fighting on the street, but then you also get the tournament where it's possible where you have someone he could score on points and possibly beat anybody. So it could be a guy like, especially the third one, which I like the ending. The rest of the movie is kind of tough, but the ending is kind of where he kind of finds his focus and able to beat the guy through obviously a sudden death point. He got all this sort of thing to sort of quantify it, but when it gets to the part where he focuses, I get into it. So it has all the notes that it's supposed to have, and it should be something that we can have fun watching and having to see what's the chemistry between Daniel Russo and this other Miyagi. Only difference is I don't know why Jackie Chan is teaching something different. He's a Miyagi teaching some sort of different Miyagi thing and wasn't teaching karate. Like, what is the difference? I don't know.
What's the deal? Why is he like, how do you know Miyagi at all? What's going on here?
Wasn't he Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies, or was somebody else? It was some other
I don't remember who he was in that Karate Kid movie. I don't remember his name. That was just a remake. I was just like, hey, the fight scenes. I was impressed that they had the kids as young as they were, and they were fighting as well as they were. I was just like, okay, this is pretty cool, and I expected that Jackie Chan would do, Jackie Chan at the end of the day. But now I'm like, wait a minute, you know Miyagi? How the hell do you know Miyagi? And if that's the case, why did you show up in any of the Karate Kid TV series and stop all that nonsense from happening? That got out of hand real quick. You could have put an end to all of that. So that's part of it. And then it's also, traditionally, schools don't mix. So, Miyagi-Do is not going to mix with another school. The whole idea is my system is my system. Your system is your system. We may compete, but we don't really mix because we're not trying to, give out trade secrets, if you will. So now he's coming here, and, that part of me is sort of like, okay, I don't understand how or why this is actually happening. I think the TV series did a lot to elevate Daniel LaRusso as, a karate practitioner. So, I guess we can do a little Hollywood magic with him and Jackie, and Jackie Chan, if you will. That's me like refusing to suspend disbelief, because it's like, okay, I got Jackie Chan here. He's trained in the literally the Hong Kong school where they would train them to fight in the martial arts movies, and then of course you have Daniel LaRusso, and I'm conflating him with the actual actor as opposed to suspending disbelief. But then it just comes back like, how in the world does this guy know Miyagi? And then I'm disappointed that Miyagi's not around, because he would be the linchpin to say, oh yeah, that's how I know these guys. I'm like, you guys don't really know each other. Come on, this is just a movie. But again, I'm still going to see it regardless. So
okay. I do want to stray for a moment and bring up that we have um all of the actors in the Karate Kid story, and obviously Jackie Chan jumping into it. None of these actors own the Karate Kid movies. It was something that what's the name? Um, Ralph Macchio, got his start in the what's the name? What's that thing? The Outsiders, probably maybe something else. He, might not have been the immediate breakout star, but he also was, as far as the group, they say he was the one cracking a lot of the jokes, and like one of the scenes that made it into a trailer was from him saying something to someone, and they were like saying, "Yeah," it's like Ralph was just like joking around, and he got that reaction out of me. So it's like you had this thing. So I bring all this up to say that you have this franchise that's going on and it's found new legs and it's going, and probably start to do a little something. I'm pretty sure they said that the Swamp Thing caused DC. They asked for next to nothing to sell off the Swamp Thing, so probably they didn't cost too much for the Karate Kid. But whoever officially owns this and gets this stuff, I say all that to say, who is it? Sylvester Stallone. His first big success was Rocky, and he sold the script, and he did, was it 6 Rocky films, 2 Creed films, and he was saying that the actor and the director, they were going their own way. When it actually comes out to say that he's struggling, that most of the money goes to the person who bought the people that bought the script. Those guys that bought the script and financed the movie, they have the largest stake, and Stallone is not. So I bring all that up to say, do you feel you feel that Stallone should just keep doing some Rocky stuff, maybe just ask for a bigger cut, not a huge cut, but it started him off. He wouldn't have had a career had he not sold this thing off. Do you think that people should be like, no, I should hold on to this. This is what made me, I'm part of the success. I should continue to be a part of the success, even though he knew the deal going in.
Well, you know me, big Superman fan, and Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster sold the rights to Superman, and that was pretty much a done deal. They knew what they were getting into, despite people saying things to the contrary, and Superman was not the only character they did this with. I think hindsight is 2020, and had he known how big Rocky would be for him, he probably would have done things a little bit differently. I'm just of the belief that they'll work things out, because as much as he may not have the ownership he wants, he's Rocky Balboa. There's nobody else that they can pretty much step into the role, not as long as Stallone is living, and probably for like some time afterwards as well. And that gives the franchise a lot of legitimacy. So I think while he didn't hold on to the script, the rights, that sort of thing, he made the right decision in holding out to make certain he starred in that franchise, and he's the face of it. There's no disputing that. So they may own that, but take it for what it will. He owns himself, so he always has that particular thing to negotiate with. But that's how these things go. You're gonna have to hold. If that's what you want, that's where you're set at the end of the day, and you actually do have the ability to negotiate, which he does. You're gonna have to hold. You're gonna have to hold out for a bit if you're gonna get something better. Same way he did in the beginning, where he held out so he could actually star in the films. So yeah, I would love to see him, come back with the Rocky films, still be a part of it, still be visible. However, the business aspect of it is, he's gonna have to play hardball. Well, then we won't see him for a bit.
That's the hard part of saying it's not. That's the thing. It's not a case where he's gonna wait, I don't know, another 20 years and say the rights go back to him at some point to go back to his family. And then
He won't be alive. There's a good chance he won't be alive in another 20 years.
I
Of that, I'm
understand.
certain.
I understand that. I'm just saying that the fact is that he's not, and this is not in disagreement. I agree with what you said about the Superman creators, but he's not Siegel and Schuster. He maximized his career. He was able to. At some point, there is, similar that they were partners at some point, but from being partners, directing marquee films, then springboarding into basically an A-list. I can get a movie made, and I can get whatever I want made in the movie. We need something, I make a call, it's in the movie. Get bigger
I
tone.
think it's a little bit different for him with Rocky, only because I think there was a part of him that felt that he was eventually going to get those rights back. Fair or foul, right or wrong, I think there was a part of him that just felt, look, I'm going to get a chance to get these particular rights back. I did that at that time because that's just where I was in my career. Now I should be able to get these things back. Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean I can't? What do you mean I can't have them back? And that's where he's at, if I'm understanding his situation correctly. So if that's where he's at, I just totally get it from a writing standpoint, from intellectual property standpoint. Remember, he's not fighting for Rambo. He doesn't own that or any of these other characters. But Rocky is something that he conceived. He fought to, be in, and I think that there's a part of him that just felt that he would get a chance to have full ownership of it and manipulate it the way that he wanted. He's being told, no, that's not the case. And because of what you're saying, where he does have the ability and power to call those particular shots, I don't think it's sitting with him too well. Where if it was a guy like me, it would just kind of be like, well, shucks, I guess that one just got away from me.
Well, that's the thing. This only reason is, I would love people to get back everything. But at the same time, when you've done something, when it's done so much for you, and you're saying, well, they're sitting back doing nothing, making money off of it. I want to. It's like, no, we know what you're going to do. Now, this is just a gag. This isn't saying, we know what happens when Stallone gets it back. He's fighting again. Yeah. He's going to fight Creed and win.
He's going to get back in the ring. He'll get back in the ring on crutches,
It's like, but that's the hard part is that, to say if it's for the little guy, that's the struggle. It's the same for the big guy. But at the same time, the equivalent of it being that, like whether we like the Beverly Hills Cop or not, the money and the redoing it is all invested in one person, and allowing, doing it. So, I don't know. Ultimately, yeah, it can be your baby. You can say this is like, what's the name? Like Jay-Z waking up and deciding, hey, we all worked together and we did Reasonable Doubt. Me, Dame, and Biggs, we all did it. Now, I'll sell you guys Rockefeller, but I want to own Reasonable Doubt. That's my baby. And it's like, yo, this is everybody together. And this is different because Jay-Z does, he owns a third of Reasonable Doubt. And but he's like, no, I want my baby. But okay, you're not gonna sell it off for the cheap price I wanted at. Then I'm gonna make sure that nobody buys your piece of Dame Dash, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like when you're still doing business, you're just looking at it and saying, yeah, I just want it back. Just give it back to me. It's mine. I came up with it. You didn't do anything besides finance, take all of the monetary risks. You trusted it. I knew it was good, so I knew it was going to be successful. It could have been any studio, but it was this studio. No, this is not even related to that. And I didn't know that the movie Ray was an independent film. That it was financed by this heavily religious guy, and he said he wanted to do Ray the movie, but all he wanted was
Ray Charles film?
Yeah, the Ray Charles film Ray. He said that he didn't want the drug angle played up too much. that you can do a redemption, but he didn't want it to be all about like all the, he wanted to just show drug redemption, but that's it. So, but they said, because I'll give you half the money. I'll give you half the money, and I'll see how far you get, and then if I like what I see, I'll give you the next part. And this isn't a.
You probably started them down this particular path, where now you have these critics who are, what is the right word? I don't have the right word, but they're very resistant to these biopics on musicians now, because they're like, oh, you're sanitizing it. And he's like, no, I don't want to, see a movie with, all this overt drug use. So I'm like, oh, maybe it started there. But that's another topic altogether. But I guess we're both seeing Karate Kid Legends.
Possibly. I mean, I haven't seen the one with Jaden. I just hear it's interesting to hear.
You never saw that one?
After the third, and then iffy on the next Karate Kid.
I never saw that one.
I was done. I didn't see that one, but I was like, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, I think I've done my time with this franchise. And it's interesting to hear, because they talked about, I'm not sure if it was Jada. I think it might have been Jada talking about Jaden trying to do the split and just breaking, just crying, trying to get the full split down and doing his best, and it just not working. It took him so long to get it down, but he was like in tears trying to make it happen. And then we go, I think his sister's older, to go on the other side. His sister was like on tour doing the whip my hair back and forth, and she's like, Daddy, I'm done. I want to go home. And he's like, what? The Smiths, we don't give up. You got a tour now. You got no, Daddy, I want to go home. We can go home, right? He's like, no, you got to finish the tour. He's like, okay, Daddy. And then she came down, shaved her head. She came down the next morning, her head was completely shaved. But anyway, check out the Karate Kid Legends. Has any bit of the heart of the Cobra Kai, the original trilogy, and as with Cal saying that the one with Jaden was also fun, or you were saying it was okay, right? What you remember of it, you thought was okay?
That was actually a good remake.
Okay,
that was actually a good remake. This was something, if you didn't know anything about Karate Kid with Ralph Macchio, you could walk into that one, and that was a suitable, enjoyable film. There was no issue with that. I was also very taken with the fight scenes, because they really, they're kids. These are, these guys, they're kids. These are not like, 22-year-olds playing 16. These are actual kids. And the fight scenes are really, they really did, and I know they wanted to do this, the training they did for the film was very good on Jaden Smith's part, and the other kids were also practitioners. So those, were really cool. The chemistry that Jaden Smith had with his love interest was also very cute in the film. So that was a perfectly fine film. Perfectly fine film at the end of the day. You didn't need to see the others. It didn't take away from any of the Karate Kid films that had come before it. It's got a really nice place in there. The trouble is that it was never followed up. Jaden Smith went and made that other film, After Earth, and then I guess he's just like out of anything dealing with films anymore. So it's kind of like the odd man out. They don't even reference it at all in the Karate Kid series on Netflix. However, we got Jackie Chan here, so I was wondering, well, hey, so whatever happened to this? So whatever happened to this kid at the end of the day? So. And again, it becomes the same thing. How do you know Miyagi? Okay, I don't want this to turn into something like, oh yeah, who steps here, like Rocky Balboa steps in. Oh yeah, I knew Miyagi. Like no. No.
Well,
Miyagi being this linchpin for all these guys to come in here. Next thing you know, Rambo walks in. Oh yeah, Miyagi was good. He was a good guy.
Well, we have yet to see Hilary Swank, who's an Academy Award winner, make a run into back to the Karate Kid. It was your start. You wouldn't be nowhere without the Karate Kid. No, you probably would have found some way.
That
But
is the only one I did not see, and I did not see that for the same reason a whole bunch of other guys did not see that. I looked up, said girl, and that was the end of it. You know, I was like, nope, I'm out.
What's the
And
name?
that one needs to be the one that nobody. That one just like, oh no, just put that one over there.
What's the that's the other thing? Well, they didn't play it up in there. That I don't know. I didn't see it, but I was surprised to find out that like Hillary's pretty athletic, so she probably would be a decent superhero. But she's going. I mean, she's going the way of being an Academy Award winner. So you do that type of stuff. All right.
She revisited some of that athleticism in $1 Million Baby, if I'm correct.
That was another one of those. Either I don't think she. I think she got For Boys Don't Cry, but that was definitely in the realm of the in the Academy Award winning type of thing. So,
And just taking the piss out of her film, The Next Karate Kid, I just didn't see that because it just struck me as very cynical. It's like, oh, let's just restart the franchise. Like, nah, I don't think so.
it's a Hollywood. This time it's a girl, and we get to play up. Hey, he tried to do something like that. Wake up, Miyagi! Get out of my room! Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were half dressed. That's all I remember from the trailer. But anyway, check it out, and we shall try to check it out and come back to it, see what you guys think also. Spin a rack.
Out.
Out.